Welcome to the Indie Corner. We're talking about all things independent comics, specifically the greatest superhero comic book in the universe, Robert Kirkman's Invincible. I'm Mikey.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Nolan.
And today, people, we're back again with another episode of the Invincible continued episodes. It's been a minute because things have happened. Life has lifed, unfortunately. But listen, it's not going to stop us, especially when another season of Invincible comes out. So, compendium. We're obviously, if you can tell from the thumbnail, we're going to be doing our full non-spoiler / spoilery review of Invincible Season 4, the season that just wrapped up this week. Yes. People, it's gonna be a good ass time. Because again, as always, we love Invincible. I mean, if you haven't checked on the channel, we literally have a section of all the entire Invincible podcast we did on the Seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D. So you haven't watched that stuff, check that stuff out. Damone, Seamus, thanks again. As always, appreciate you. I know we started a little later than expected, but we're all here now. So, man, let's enjoy it while we can, guys. First things first, as usual, I gotta add some of the the usual stuff. But please, if you haven't already, if you're rocking with us for a while, appreciate you as always. With the support. But if you're new here, please like and subscribe. Because we like subscriptions and likes. So just give us one or the other, but mostly give us both, please. But yeah, people. All right, so we'll just get right into it. So, Seamus, Damone, we've watched Invincible. We've read Invincible more than once, obviously, right? We love this series, love this comic book. So, what did y'all think of season 4 overall? Give me your overall thoughts, non-spoilery for now, then we'll go into spoilers.
Nice. So I definitely like season 4. There were some changes from what the comic was, which is always nice to see. It's sometimes cool to see some stuff one-to-one adapted, but I like when the artist kind of, how do I put it, changes with the times a little bit, kind of updates the work when it's re-released, because it gives a new perspective. So I think season 4 gives anything that's changed in season 4 I like so far. I can say that.
Okay, for sure. Seamus?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I thought that it was a very solid adaptation of this portion of the comics, and the stuff they added only enhanced what the comic, like, it made it better, which is what every adaptation should do. There was a part that was added that I don't think made it better, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I think by and large this season was very good, very solid, and it was some of the best episodes of the show so far.
I mean, I'm pretty much the same. I thought this season overall was great in terms of story. I thought it was fantastic. Obviously, that especially some of the new stuff that they added, and we'll get into it in the spoiler review, I thought were really good ways to keep it fresh for people like us who are fans of the comic series that know it front to back. So some of the new additions that they added, except for one, which I think James, I think I know the vibe. I think I know what you're putting down when you say that. So we'll get into it in the spoiler review. But I thought the two changes that they made for the most part were really strong and enhanced the storytelling for sure. Just seeing Mark, seeing Mark's journey so far, this is kind of like the breaking point that changes the status quo. I feel like this season is especially because this is the midpoint in the comic. I remember.
It's right in the middle of Compendium 2.
Exactly. Did you all see that image? That image posted on Instagram where it's it has all 3 compendiums stacked together, and then they use the first issue number dollar, the $1 first issue of Invincible, put in the middle and says "You are here." It's literally it's literally right in the middle of a compendium too. So it's literally like a compendium and a half. I think it's hilarious. I was telling my coworker Carlo, shout out to him, who loves the show, hasn't read the comic but loves the show, and I told him especially after the ending, I was like, this literally things will never be the same after this season. I just want to let you know right now. I think that's kind of how it is in the comic, because we're literally right in the middle. So, but yeah, man, I thought this season was, for the most part, was really good. Because this is the nitty gritty, like to quote Nacho Libre, let's get down to the nitty gritty stuff. Like the Viltrumite War is some of the best stuff in Invincible, like along with the Invincible War. So like
because it takes the intensity from like here, some like
so it's
off
just
the
like
screen.
Yeah, whatever people's expectations of Invincible, like past Invincible War, it just goes to another level with the Viltrumite War on top of that. So.
And you can kind of tell how this season it all kind of builds up. So it's like it gets more and more interesting. I feel at least as you go along, which is always great to hear.
Absolutely, man. So
after this season, we're getting into the arcs that are a little. We're getting into some scary territory, Mikey.
I know. We'll get into that. Exactly. I know exactly what you're putting down.
Yeah.
But here's also the thing.
I know exactly.
I was gonna say, given how much that they changed this season, I do have confidence that I don't think that they are going to be doing straightforward adaptations of the arcs that I'm talking about that I don't particularly fuck with. Which gives me hope a little bit.
Yeah, because
if we'll see. I mean, I got more of that when it comes to theories and stuff, but. I mean, it's I'm not gonna. I'll say this: it's possible you may be right. It's possible, but
I think so. I just don't see them doing the stuff that is coming soon in the way that Kirkman did it, because I even think Kirkman doesn't view those arcs not as a whole. He's like because with this specifically, this season I think does a really great job at enhancing what Kirkman was writing back in the day to a level that feels a little more adult and feels a little more put together. And I think that's why this season and this season works a lot like
more human reactions.
Yeah. And it's those inclusions that I think enhances writing. And it's why I bring that up, because I think that season 4 was such an enhanced adaptation of Invincible that I do not see the people making this show making those same mistakes that Kirkman did and not trying to rectify that in any way. Because a lot of the changes here were really, really good.
For sure. I got nothing else. I'll let you know. Hold on, before you move on, I just realized, what did y'all think of, like, especially in terms of, like, the reception from fans of the show, especially when it comes to the animation? What did y'all like? What do y'all think of, like, the reception? I saw people making memes. I saw people like actually making their own versions of, like, adding more dynamic lighting to some of the scenes in the show. I thought it was kind of weird that, like, especially when I kept seeing memes of people being like, oh, like, Invincible has a huge ass budget, but they only have 4 people designing it, yet, like, Mappa does, like, stuff that they do with, like, Jujutsu Kaisen on, like, this amount of a budget. And I'm like, guys, listen, I think you're missing an important piece where, like, Japan has a really, like, almost has a really abusive work culture than America does. It's
two very different work cultures.
Exactly.
What I was going to say is that I think we're at the point. I think we're at the point where it's like Invincible has always looked like this. Sometimes, sure, the animation's a little better, but by and large, it's always looked like this. This is the art style they went with. Sure, would I like a little more shading? Would I like a little more flair? Yes. But also, for me, it doesn't take away from the big emotional parts of the show. It doesn't take away from the character work the show's doing. For me, it's I'm okay with it, because it's like I'm still getting a very well written superhero TV show. I'm not getting like I'm not getting like a half-assed animation, half-assed adaptation. I'm getting people who are like putting a lot into the writing and then being like, hey, let's try to animate this best we can without killing our animators. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine with me. If the animators are chill, I'm chill. I'm not gonna be like, you guys should be working way harder and like making this look like Mappa animation. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be that fucking guy. Sure. Are you valid if you're like, hey, I wish it looked a little better? Yeah, I agree too. I wish it looked a little better too, but also I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it sucks still, because like I know what I'm getting into at this point.
I mean, and it's kind of wild too because, damn, I just my train of thought. I think I just did. I just had it, and then like I just lost it. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. It's kind of wild the fact that like especially when people are like, oh, like how come in the comic it looked more dynamic and it looked more it looked way better than what like Otley style is compared like this compared to Otley style in the comic. I don't know why they're not translating that instead of using Corey Walker's. And I'm just like, listen, I mean Ryan Otley. I mean I always say this. Ryan Otley's one of my favorite artists in comics. He's like really top 5 for me. I think like Corey Walker's style, especially because he is like the co-creator of the character. He started it all with Kirkman. So like and obviously like when we did the Invincible podcast, especially Damone, because Damone was there, we saw this man grow as an artist, like from the beginning to the end of the comic. You know what I mean? I think his style works the best in my opinion. If you could translate Otley style, sure, but like I don't think it would hit the same for me personally. And I did pitch to Seamus actually that I feel like for the reboot, when they do go to the reboot arc, I think when they do the reboot arc, they should adapt Otley style to like have that as a joke for fans making that complaint. I think that'd be really funny if they played on that.
It would be funny.
That would be a good joke. I'll give them that one.
But yeah, and granted, now I remember what I was gonna say. But granted, also, they do utilize. You can tell they utilize the budget the most in terms of the animation when it comes to the heavy emotional beats and with the fights. So like we'll talk about some of the fights and talk about that. Yeah, like what you're saying, like they are utilizing like the production when it can, so that they don't have to break the backs of their animators. Granted, they do make mistakes. I mean, there is one shot I remember where like if you slow it down, there's an action shot with Mark, but there's a keyframe where Mark's face is like Paul's face. It's very brief and quick, but it happened. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously like Invincible isn't perfect, but I think they're doing a fine job with what they have been doing so far. It's their style. They're rocking with it, but as long as it doesn't affect the story, which it hasn't, I'm fine with it. Yeah. All right. So that's all I gotta say. Anything else you want to say before we move on to spoiler territory?
No. I think anything else I gotta say is gonna be easier to say with spoilers.
I bet. All right. So yeah, we'll just go on to. So all right, people. If you haven't watched the show yet, please. Why are you here? Leave. Get the fuck out. Watch the show, then come back and join us for the spoiler discussion. All right. So yeah, we're gonna be going to spoilers in 3, 2, 1. All right, spoiler territory. I'm also gonna drop a random clues bomb, just indicate we're in spoiler territory. All right, spoilers, people. So yeah, we're pretty much gonna be going into first, just to get out the way. Let's go to our dislikes. I'm gonna say off rip. One of the biggest things that I could think of off the top of my head that I disliked about this season, I thought the Invincible Goes to Hell arc, like Hell episode, was a little underwhelming, especially because it was a return of Damien Darkblood now in his new environment back in Hell, and having Mark there was cool to see. I didn't really think the story needed to be there. It felt kind of unnecessary. When after I watched the episode, I was like, what did this add to the story? I didn't think it really needed to be there, but granted, I thought it was still nice that it's something different for us, especially because that didn't happen in the comics. So
I think I think the only thing I felt it added was that it gave us another perspective on how people reacted to Omni-Man, which is something we get from pretty much everyone in the show. Probably every
I think it should have been
episodes.
moved. I think it should have been moved to the second episode. I think the fact it was the fourth or the fifth.
The fourth or fifth
It comes right after that great Omni-Man episode where he's rounding up all of the Viltrumite weaknesses.
And right after Robot and Monster Girl get put away into a Blackness, right? So it's the episode right after that. It kind of
feels like if the Hell episode was the second episode, I feel like everyone would have received it a little better because it would have come at a time where no one's really expecting much from Invincible yet, and they're just Yeah, you know what I mean? Let's do a fun episode before we get into like the heavy plot. But like when you start the heavy plot and then you randomly in the middle of it go like, hey, by the way, let's do a detour. You're like, no, wait. I really want to see what's going on with Nolan. I really want to see what's going on with that. You know what I mean? So I think
yeah, it gave the vibe of like an anime filler almost.
Yeah, and it when it came out, watching it in a vacuum, it seemed like it seemed way better because I did rewatch it after the season was over, and I liked it more because I wasn't in the middle of the Viltrumite War. You know what I mean? And I'm like, cool, this should have either been like the second episode or this should have been the very, very last episode as like comes out a month later as like a, hey, here's a little extra episode this season, like the Adam Eve special. They should have made it like Invincible Hell special. You know what I mean?
Also, like, just side tangent, I'm surprised they didn't do a Rexplode a special episode because of Adam Eve and Rexplode, that one shot. Like, I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Well, I think the only reason we got the Adam Eve special was because there was so much time in between season 1 and 2, and then when people were like, hey, we don't want that much time between season 1 and 2, they were like, all right, let's just make the fucking show.
Yeah.
Let's not do spin-offs yet.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't have any. I think it's like in terms of dislikes, I don't really have anything else I could think of on top of my head. I don't know about y'all.
I didn't really have any like huge gripes with the season, which was something that was really nice. I think the Hell episode was like a lull for me. And then there was a couple of scenes back on Earth that felt strange. I don't know how else to describe them.
Okay. Which scenes do you remember off the top of your head?
Specifically, it's one of the scenes where Mark's talking in the office with Cecil. After he's getting all the he's having the breakdown. He's obviously having trauma from everything he's experienced.
Oh, okay.
But like it was very nice to see Cecil like try to extend the hand to give help, but it all still felt very awkward.
So especially after he fucked up earlier in the season. Which we'll get into, but okay. I mean, if anything comes up, we'll probably mention it, throughout the course of the review. Okay, we'll just move on to now we're gonna go to the best moments section, and this is where instead of like we usually like to do like character breakdowns and stuff and all that, but like we're just gonna be just talking about some moments from the episodes in order from what I can think of, just the most more notable moments. And we'll just give our thoughts on them. I have them on a slide, but we'll just get right into it. But just to start it off, one of the moments that I could think of off the top of my head was one that a character that I've been waiting to see come in for ever since Invincible season 2. Since Invincible started, was the fact that Dinosaurus showed up finally.
Yes, sir.
And it was awesome. Even though it was brief, but I really did like the fact that Dinosaurus came through. People that don't know, Dinosaurus is pretty much a anthropomorphic dinosaur that is obsessed with pretty much like healing the planet by any means necessary. And he pretty much kind of like the Hulk, where he's an actual dude, but when he transformed into Dinosaurus, the dude has no memory that he's actually like Dinosaurus at all. And I love how like this kind of was kind of setting the theme of Mark journey so far after dealing with the aftermath of the Invincible War and fighting Conquest. Him crossing the line. I'm willing to cross the line and actually trying to kill people. Like he almost killed Dinosaurus until he turned back into an actual man and was like,
he even almost killed him after he turned back to an actual man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like right when he turned back into a man, he was like, I can just end this right here if I wanted to, but because people had to remind him, that's not who you are. Like he stopped himself, which foreshadowed another event that happened right after this. What do you think of Dinosaurus, people? What do you think of our boy finally being introduced? I was so happy.
I know, he's my favorite character, as you can tell from when we started and it said under my name I was a Dinosaurus apologist. I think that Matthew Rhys's voice actor is so fucking cool. He sounds so cool.
That is Matthew Reese's, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Matthew Reese. I love him. He was so good in The Americans, dude.
Oh yeah. Sure.
But yeah, it to me was a great like use of being an adaptation, the way that they are able to like do teases for future arcs they know is coming as a quick little like injection into the current arc that Mark is having. So him almost killing Dinosaurus, tying into his current arc about, you know what I mean, feeling that weight of being a Viltrumite and not trying to turn to that dark side, but also like really wanting to, you know what I mean? And I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. And then using Dinosaurus specifically, because like we said, knowing what's coming, you know what I mean? It's going to come to a head soon.
No,
but
absolutely.
yeah, it's just I thought seeing him was very nice, and it was a cool use of like a cameo.
Yeah, I'm about the same boat. I really appreciate how the show also kind of weaves through the storylines the same way the comics does, so it feels very familiar, and everything feels nothing feels stale for too long. I can say if ever.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I loved him. Again, now just hit me. Yeah, Matthew Reese, man. Damn, I just hit me. Yeah, that's him as the voice. Man, I just watched him in The Beast in Me. The Beast in Me was great in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, just seeing that and just knowing like, you know, what this character has in store, especially he's gonna be. I'm assuming he's gonna be a huge part next season because if I'm not mistaken, is the next season they're gonna be doing the death of everyone?
Yeah.
They have to, I think.
Yeah. So he's going to be a huge part of next season for sure. Obviously, this was just set up. But yeah, I was just happy to see my boy. Again, yeah, we're Dinosaurus apologists here. We love this character.
He was right. We should kill everyone and bomb Las Vegas.
Oh man, but
Las Vegas.
But yeah, so
yeah,
we'll go on to the next topic real quick. So the next moment that I want to highlight is that the Sequids attacked again. For the second time. That was also really good.
It's all that Martian's fault.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, it is his fault. But yeah, and the fact that like they finally brought the Sequids back again, because again they weren't in season 3 at all. You know, they were building up to that moment. But yeah, the Sequids finally attacked because they were like, you know, harvesting people behind the scenes of season 3. And it finally had to, you know, that's that setup we were talking about with Dinosaurus, where Mark made that call to cross line where he kills the real Rex Livingston. And it's like, and it shocks everybody. Like, damn, like Mark's kind of, you know, on the dark side a little bit. He's becoming more Viltrumite than human at this point. I thought this was great. I thought it was a great moment for sure.
It's also really great because in parallel, like he's all throughout this season, Mark's having talks with Oliver about killing people when he's out here absolutely just snapping necks or contemplating it whenever he gets a chance and thinks, well, it will help. But, you know, Cecil had a talk with him and it's like, can't be making these decisions alone.
I mean, even in the comic, I want to bring up this question. Do you think that Rex was still, you know, worth saving, or was he just too far gone? Sorry, Rex Livingston or Ray Livingston? Yeah, I think it was Ray Livingston. My fault.
I don't think Invincible was wrong for killing him. I think that was a tense situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was about a burst. If they got any farther, they might have taken over the whole world. It would have been.
If it's a situation where if one gets out, then they're in this situation again next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
which is why I'm sure even Rex, because Rex was an astronaut, and astronauts are always like, I will die if it's for the greater good. You know what I mean? So if he found out that Invincible killed him to stop a whole alien invasion that would have killed everyone, I'm sure Rex Livingston would have been like, no, yeah, I get it. I'm not mad. I was already kind of dead anyway.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, how alive was he even?
Yeah, true.
After all that time under the Sequid control, it didn't seem like it was going to be right back to regular life afterward.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a hard decision on Mark, and I understand why it continues to weigh on him throughout the entire season.
But yeah, so I thought this one was great. Also seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Globe, fight and battle against the Sequids, especially this part with Rudy with Robot. I thought it was really cool. Like Rudy kind of using his brains to kind of dodge the Sequids. And the moment that one got on him for a second, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's over." Once the Sequid gets latched on to like one of the smartest people like in the Invincible universe, it's a wrap. So I thought that was really cool, kind of like fake out. Yeah, man, it was a dope season. So I mean, this is RIP to the Sequids because they don't come back after this season. Yeah. So speaking of you know.
Oh, actually, I do have one more thing because I do like
sure.
So specifically when they, you also know when you watch this that Rex gets attacked by a Sequid in the bathroom. And what I like this time is that in the show, Monster Girl was there to help him, but in the comic, it was just all him by himself. So it's like it's a humanizing factor for him because now he has someone like more in his corner, like Sean.
Yeah, exactly. Like that moment kind of like even though it's little, but that moment gave him. You know, a little bit of like, you know, to set up more established their connection and their relationship.
No, yeah, because I genuinely think Rex felt like a bigger mind my language asshole in the comics than he does.
Oh yeah, yeah. And also, how did I didn't wonder when it happened? How the fuck did the Sequid get like like probe him? Like how the fuck did that even happen? It really happened so quick.
I don't know, but it just came out of his mouth in the shower.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, so bye Sequids. I mean, we're not seeing y'all again. All right, so yeah, we mentioned Cecil before, you know, realized that he did something really fucking stupid, which was if you remember last season, after Mark fights Conquest and like literally caves his face in, like he did Angstrom. Cecil decided to put Conquest's body into like an underground bunker, like encased in concrete and explosives, because Conquest, even though he had his face turned into a pancake, was still alive somehow. And Cecil was like, you know what? It doesn't matter because if he moves even an inch, the thing's gonna blow up and he'll die, hopefully. It turns out
he's never met a Viltrumite before.
Exactly. So it turns out once Conquest healed up, he escaped.
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know as a person how you see the face he went in with and then see this face and think that anything's gonna stop him.
Yeah,
they didn't do anything to heal him. They just left him there.
And it's like it's wild because like those bombs did literally nothing. He just flew out like it was no issue whatsoever, and then the episode ends with Cecil being like shit, and it's like yep, because like that I think this right here, especially like at the end of season 3, like that decision to keep Conquest alive to get information, but yet they would end up getting nothing in return because once he wakes up, he just bounces, is literally the biggest mistake Cecil's ever made in the show, and it will come back to haunt him later on. It will come back to haunt later on in future seasons. Literally, if Cecil didn't do this, like the stuff that happened with Mark on that planet wouldn't have happened. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple mistakes in the series I think he might have made that made it as big, but this is like the most avoidable mistake that he made.
Yeah, he didn't need to do this. Yeah, Shamus, you have anything to say on this, or just real quick?
It was funny, made me laugh.
That's it should.
I will say I love also what they just did with Conquest in general. Like they made him even more intimidating in the show than the comic.
Yeah.
Because one of the scenes that I noticed was a stark difference was when he meets Argus after returning, and he's like, "Give me a swift death as a tribute." But in the comic, he does beg for his life like a person in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
So you know they just make him even more killing machine badass in the show, which is fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got nothing to say. I thought this was a fun moment. I just want to add it in there because it's like it's just like, dude, Cecil, why the fuck did you do this? Why do you think this was gonna bite? Why do you think this was gonna bite you in the ass later?
Right.
All right. So yeah, the next moment we want to talk about is our boys, the baddest bros in the galaxy. Nolan and Alan going after the Viltrumite weaknesses that Nolan put in his books. That I don't really think Mark ended up deciphering, because I remember they teased that in like season 2 or 3, like you would like read my books, and I don't think Mark actually got a chance to actually like decipher his books like how he did in the comic. I could be wrong because my memory's kind of hazy about it, but
I think he ended up just handing over the books to Alan and the
and the Coalition of Planets. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. With this episode, they're going after all the Viltrumite weaknesses so they can have more of an advantage. They go after the Ragnar, which I thought was really cool. Did they? That like sun blocker satellite, that was a new thing for the show, right? Or was that there in the comic?
I don't remember.
You know, that device they use so that they could block out the sun that the Ragnar were on, so that they could stay frozen, so that they couldn't move around the moment they landed on the planet. So they're because the moment they thawed out, they would immediately attack anything in sight.
I know they had a time when they were frozen, but I forget if the device was the same.
Yeah, I don't know I forgot how they did it in the comic, but them getting the Ragnar almost dying, that was funny. The bugs, the insects with the poison, that was cool. But most importantly, we get our introduction to one of the best characters and one of my favorite characters in the entire comic, Space Racer, played by Winston Duke M'Baku, of all people. I was like, wow, what a catch!
That's a pull.
What a pull, bro. I was so happy because again, I remember back when we did the podcast, Damone. Every time Space Racer was on a page, we loved it. It was just yes, a dude with imposable feet that has a gun that can shoot through anything is yes.
He can fire with his hands and his feet. He's unstoppable.
Exactly. It's great. And Winston Duke, I thought, did a great job as the character. Yeah, man, I love it. So what do y'all think of this? This aspect, them getting all the Viltrumite weaknesses and stuff.
I thought it was probably one of the most fun episodes of the show.
Yeah,
I loved it. I love them doing the sex bit. That's my favorite.
Yeah, man, we have to be reminded that Alan fucks.
That bit made me laugh, and the fact they kept coming back to it, I was like, oh, this is great.
It is.
I loved it. I love seeing Space Racer. I loved watching Nolan get more development with Alan and shit. And it was just a great episode, and it was very fun to see them pay off all that shit.
It's one of the best parts of the comic is the relationship the friendship that Nolan and Alan bring, then the respect that they gain for each other throughout their journey. I think it's so good. So see that see that in here was a lot of fun. I agree with you. Damone?
Yes, so I also really liked how, sorry, I had to think for a sec, but I liked one of the things I liked about the weakness episode, because I also thought it was a great time, is they showed the weaknesses where they just ran out of time. They couldn't get to them. The one planet where everything died because it dried out because the Viltrumites moved it closer to the sun.
Yeah.
The Viltrumites, it was crazy because it really did a great job of showing exactly how deeply corrupt and evil the Viltrumite Empire was.
Yeah, man, that was funny.
Or I guess maybe not corrupt is the right word, because it seems to be working exactly how they want it to, but it's just violent.
But yeah, I got nothing to say on this. It's pretty self-explanatory. I thought it was pretty fun, finding all the weaknesses and stuff. But at the same time, when this episode, because this episode was focused on the present day, where Alan and Nolan are finding all the Viltrumite weaknesses, and then also they juxtapose it with flashbacks to Viltrum with a younger Nolan, which again, it's kind of wild, where it's how much of, obviously father and son, but how much Mark looks like his father at his age. That
Viltrumite DNA, it runs pure. That's what they say.
But seeing a young Nolan in Viltrum during the almost the peak of the Viltrumite Empire at the time, especially when it comes to the culling and the massacre of Viltrum, especially and also seeing his relationship with his own parents, that was really interesting. Especially how Viltrumite, families.
That coming of age ceremony.
Yeah, like Viltrumite, how Viltrumite families interact and their relationships, their dynamics are. That was very like Darwinistic. A lot of what Viltrum is in terms of like culturally and like philosophically is all just straight Darwinism. But that part was it. Speaking on like the Nolan stuff specifically, what do y'all think of like those flashbacks? I thought it was great and just and nice to see because we barely see that stuff in the comic.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of just in general good flashbacks. I think this season that added more, depth and background to what we already knew about the show. But like this one gave us like a realistic view of what life was like after the Emperor was killed, but before the Scourge virus was released. Look at that kid right there. He looks so stressed. You see the furrow of his brow.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't seem like Viltrumite was a relaxing place to be ever.
No, you were on guard 24/7. That's how it was. But then obviously the big thing, which I mean, Damone kind of mentioned here, was the culling, the initial culling of Viltrum, where they were pretty much all going after all of their weak to strengthen themselves, and also the massacre of Viltrum via the Scourge virus. That was amazing to see, and at the same time, we got more background of like Thetis being why Thetis is known as the Great Betrayer, the score, why, and also a big thing. I don't have a photo here, but our first ever introduction of Argyle, of General Argyle, because we've never seen him in the comic ever. So like that was I love that was my favorite part about the flashback, just like finally seeing what Argyle looked like for the first time, other than him just being a skull,
and him being voiced by Frank Welker was so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
They were like, yeah, if we're gonna have Optimus in here, we gotta have Megatron.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked so well. And then and just seeing like, and obviously we've seen it in the comic, but like seeing like the actual culling of Viltrum in animated form, and just like everyone like it was literally everyone was fending for themselves, and just like go one by one is following a Viltrumite kill somebody, then that Viltrumite gets slaughtered, and then that Viltrumite kills somebody, and then that Viltrumite that slaughtered the previous one kills someone, and the next one just slaughters him. Like it was just like a chain. It was like a chain of just death. And then to combine that with the Scourge virus that was unleashed by Thetis, which is the reason why the Viltrumite population was diminished to only 50 people, and which is why the ring of Viltrum is just a sea of corpses floating in space around its orbit. It was great to see.
Like billions of people up there.
Yeah, like look at this. Like there's all of that white is just bodies. It's crazy
to see.
Yeah, man. So just seeing that in the flashbacks, like some of the new stuff we saw with Argyle and all that stuff, and some of the stuff we've already seen with just like the culling and the pandemic with the Scourge virus. I thought it was great to see realized in animation. I loved it. Any more thoughts on this part of the stuff? Any of the flashbacks? Any of all that young Nolan stuff?
No.
Nada. Okay. So next moment is a fun one, because character that we've been waiting to see, which is why that's why I did this in order. But one of the other weaknesses that was mentioned in that episode was a Galdarian, the Galdarians, which were shown in the episode where Nolan and Alan were getting the weaknesses, but they wanted to mention that we're not gonna be doing shit with y'all because we don't want to go against Viltrumites. We don't really care about this shit. However, coincidentally, there's a Galdarian on Earth that you can just kindly ask to help y'all out. And so when Nolan and when Nolan comes back to Earth, they recruit the Earthling Galdarian, known as Tech Jacket, and we finally get to see Tech Jacket in the show, which is great. And again, it's nice to see just to start it off that Kirkman is able to get some of the rights and stuff to the other properties that are under his Skybound imprint, because that's some of the reasons why we didn't get a little bit early, some of like the early Guardians of the Globe stuff in season 1 because each book has its own licensing and rights agreement. So just to get all that stuff just takes a while. I thought we didn't get to see like Britt come in season 1 with the Guardians of the Globe and all that, and in season 2. So yeah, but like it's finally getting to see Tech Jacket realized in the show, because Tech Jacket's a big part of the Viltrumite War, is great. But the big thing is that they gender bent Tech Jacket in the show, because Tech Jacket was a male going by the name of Zach, but in this one it is a female going by the name of Zoe, played by Zoe Dutch of all people. And I was like, wow, okay, that's also a great pull. And I thought she did a really good job. I really love Zoe's Tech Jacket in this a lot. It's really fun. Same character. So like the gender bending didn't really change much. Like I thought the vibe that we got with Tech Jacket in this season was the exact same how it was in the comic, and I loved it. So what do y'all think?
Yeah, I liked her. I didn't care about the gender swap change, because I was like, okay, it's not gonna. I'm sorry. I don't know why people ride so hard. Like I like Tech Jacket, but the way some people are riding for Tech Jacket, I was like, he's not that good. He's not like he's fun. He's great. You can like him, but like he's not integral to the story of Invincible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're gonna swap Tech Jacket, you're gonna be like, all right, you're still gonna get Tech Jacket. It's still like, and we did, and it was good.
Yeah.
Like, and let's be real. No, most of the chuds that were complaining about Tech Jacket being gender swap didn't even read Tech Jacket in the comics at all. Didn't read.
The ones that did and still complain about it were still chuds.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think the only joke I missed because of the gender swap was one where when they were attached to the Viltrumite ship. And so his system couldn't shave for him, I remember. So he was growing a facial hair for the first time in his life. And I think that was the most notable difference I noticed between the gender swap. So truly it was almost nothing.
The only downside I would say to like the gender swap is that we couldn't make jokes about Christian the entire time I was watching it, because that was our thing in the Invincible podcast. It's like, because Christian looked so much like the character of Tech Jacket, we just say, yo, Christian, it's you in the book. Look at you. And it's just like, we couldn't do that in this season. But other than that, yeah, it was. I thought seeing Tech Jacket realized was great. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I also like, their Tech Jacket and Alan's camaraderie in this season was a lot of fun as well. Them discovering that while they're hiding under the Viltrumite ship, and that the Tech Jacket suit has video games that they can play, and that was so funny. I was like, look at them. But yeah, man. Anything else want to say on Tech Jacket? I might at some point go back. I mean, we can also cover it on the podcast if you want, but like, it's also planned for bonus episodes if we ever decided to do the Tech Jacket comic, because like we did it once. We did like we do like the first one with Tech Jacket, I think, like way back.
Yes, we can read Christian too.
Yeah, with Christian. Yeah, so we do the rest of it. So yeah, I'm at some point I'm gonna read the rest of it. I know like my boy Karin Randolph does the art for Tech Jacket at some point. I will read anything that man draws. So all right. So yeah, anything else? Nothing else? Not moving on. All right, bet. So next one is now the big one, which we're waiting for. So like, now we're going into like, like this is it. I guess like Invincible Returns stuff. Yeah, well, yeah. And also Mark gets his suit back. He gets his classic suit. He decides to leave the black and blue behind and go back to the original costume. But Nolan returning to Earth, and actually no, wait. I didn't put this one on there. Nope, I'm skipping ahead. No, not Nolan going to Earth, but Robot and Monster Girl vanishing, and what's it called? The Order stuff. So like now, like the Oliver and Mark fighting the dragon guy and his henchmen, and like Titan coming back into play again at the same time. What did y'all think? What do y'all think of these two moments?
I like how they're giving
that's fine.
more spotlight in this show.
Yeah,
I don't think Oliver got like a ton. He's a little annoying in the comics sometimes just because of where he goes, but in the show they're trying to give him more of a personality and kind of justify wherever his character is, which I appreciate at least.
I mean, yeah, like I'm kind of in the same boat with Sheamus, where it's like, yeah, it was okay, but I did like the fact that, like, you know, it kind of is like, especially with Oliver going against, you know, remind me of this guy's name. I keep for I was about to
Lee or something.
What happened?
Was it Lee?
I think so. Yeah, with Lee and his henchmen. The fact that, like, again, kind of foreshadowing Oliver's kind of arrogance and like, you know, naivety about when it comes to, like, you know, fighting threats that obviously he's clearly, like, unprepared for. I thought that was fine. That was fine to see. Seeing Titan back, I thought was great as well, and also the fact that, like, we wanted, like, because Titan hires Mark and Oliver to protect him and to go after Lee, but also to protect him from assassins. And we saw Magnatac, which was like, I think it's was it Magnatac? I think that's the name. The magnetic.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Magnatac coming into play, which we haven't seen him. I think since season 1, or maybe even at all. I don't even know if we saw him at all in the show at all. But seeing him was dope. So yeah, I thought that was. I understood why they didn't have that arc in there, mostly for Oliver. But also, yeah, the Flaxen invasion again. It was fine, but again, this whole setup, you know, obviously Monster Girl and Robot, you know, being missing in the Flaxen dimension, which again, that is also a very questionable thing in the comics that most of us, either people like or don't like. So
yeah. It's going to be a very interesting arc for Monster Girl and Robot coming soon, though. I can say that at least.
Yeah, so Sheamus is literally just like,
I'm out, dog. I'm out.
But yeah, so I got nothing else to say. All the others were fine. You know, like the others were fine moments. So we'll see where, like, you know, especially with Monster Girl and Robot, how they're going to interpret that. Because again, what Sheamus said, they could change things. You know, they could change things around. So it may not be 1-to-1 in terms of, you know, that arc with Monster Girl and Robot going forward. All right, so now we're going to be getting into Nolan returning to Earth. But mostly I wanted to highlight just like Nolan, Nolan now confronting Debbie for the first time since the first season. After, you know, he called her a pet, which was crazy. I thought this was handled. Like, it was handled great. The way it was, especially exactly how it was in the comic. I love how Debbie stepped up to him and was like, "No, you have no right to just re-enter my life after what you did, after what you not you did to our family, but what you did to the whole fucking planet." Like, you know. Yeah. So I loved how Debbie kind of, like, you know, stood her ground and realized, I've moved on from you. I've met someone else. Like, I've been, you know, having a great life until you have to just ruin it by coming back to Earth. Like, damn. It was like that moment right there. I was like, you know, it was so good. It was so good. And Nolan kind of, like, you know, being put off guard because, like, you know, even though he's like, look, but like, it's like pretty much like, but I've done all this reflecting. That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah,
he's still being like, Nolan's done all this reflecting, and he still can't recognize that it's selfish of him to even show up. You know what I mean? Without no notification for Debbie either. Like, hey, I'm coming because I have to. He just shows up and is like, hey, and you're like, all right, dude. You obviously haven't done that much reflecting because you're still a little thinking about yourself only.
Yeah, even when he goes to the tailor at the next scene, like, he tries to get him to make him a costume, and he's like, I don't make costumes I only make them for heroes. And Nolan is very much not a hero on Earth.
Not at all. And he kind of has to
never get back to that standing, and he doesn't understand that at this point.
Yeah, and he kind of, like, has to come to the fact that, like, Nolan's just gonna, like, openly accept me after what happened. Like he really is gonna be like, everyone fucking hates him, and they're right to do that, you know. So yeah, it's out of the scene, specifically, was perfectly handled. Obviously it does foreshadow some things that I don't like going on between when it comes to Nolan and Omni-Man's relationship, but yeah. Oh shoot, yo! Shout out to my girl Driz, man. I met her at BlurCon this year. we've been going back and forth about Invincible for a little bit. It's like a reality it's reality TV. I love her.
Funny.
She did. I don't know if you saw on my story, Seamus, but she did a reel on her page about like how people react to Invincible. It was so funny.
Oh, I did see that one. Yeah, that's
her. That's her. So shout out to her. She's amazing. So there was that. I also forgot to mention as well that the stuff with Eve. Eve's powers fluctuating throughout the course of the episode, and obviously the reveal. Her being pregnant. Is a cause of her powers again. Like we obviously knew reading the comics. That was handled pretty well. As well. Just the whole like Nolan just coming back to Earth, just fucking things up, and also not just interrupting Debbie's life, but also being like, "Hey, sorry, kiddos, gotta go to war."
Sorry,
everyone.
I'm coming back, and I'm sending you all off the board. You all are gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, man, it's just and Debbie's reaction was just like, it's so funny. It's so funny. And again, it's like she's definitely justified to feel that way. But then also, I think it's also interesting the fact that Oliver decides to throw himself into the pot, and everyone actively being against it, but because strength in numbers, they kind of just and obviously Oliver is not really, technically speaking, not really a kid anymore. So it's just them just having to deal with that and come to terms with that. And also, I did really like the fact that Nolan and Oliver, in terms of their relationship, were estranged because Oliver didn't see Nolan since he was a baby. So
and then the first time he hears from Nolan again, it's not to visit him, it's to hear him over talking with his mom about how he didn't love Oliver's mom.
Yeah. And it's poor kid.
To backtrack on the planet when you're talking to him, as saying it was an excuse to try to save your relationship with Debbie, Nolan just pulls some of the shittier moves in the season from himself for this one.
Yeah, he's very desperate to get back to where he was, and he doesn't understand that all these desperate moves he's doing is actively hurting any chance he has at getting back to where he was.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But I got nothing to say. Even when the whole season ends, him confronting Debbie about how you gotta listen, you have to at least give me a chance to hear me out. If you believe in second chances, let me show you how much I've changed. Let me show you that I'm still worth being heard and still worth saving. I thought that was a very interesting dynamic, and also gave me a little bit of they're doing the thing they don't want them to do. But
they're doing it.
Oh my gosh. Even though this is for the end, but we'll say it now. When Debbie's we gotta go. I'm gonna go visit, Oliver and Telestra, and then they fly up, and then Nolan flies her up. I'm just it's over. It's over. Please don't.
Well, here's the thing. I think that they are going to get back together like they do in the comics, but I also think that the writers, like I said, I feel like they are at least mature enough to know that them getting back together might be the entire arc between them the next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might spend the entire next season being all right, this is how we're going to get them back together. It's going to take an entire season to do. But I think if they do that, it's not going to be impossible,
Yeah. And Driz was saying as well, just no one doesn't understand he lost everyone's trust. And also she comments, she's like, Mark could have took her instead. He's like, he could have.
His mom?
Yeah. No, I meant
I think they went to the planet to see Oliver.
Up the ship to see Oliver,
I was what's this girl talking about? Mark could have took his mom. I was like, what dog? What are we talking? Whoa.
You're misunderstanding. You're misunderstanding.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh. But so I think I'm good on that. Now we can go into some of the good stuff, which is obviously the Viltrumite War starting. Now it's gonna be the face off. And I thought that first initial fight was dope. You know, that was that was a really dope part. It's like, she called you out to like, get your mind out the gutter. Mark could have took her to see Oliver. Yes, you just trying to start shit. No, don't be coming at Driz, bro. That's my girl. Don't be coming at her, bro. She knows ball. She knows ball. But yeah, so the Viltrumite War happening, amazing. Seeing the first face off between, you know, now we have, you know, Mark, Oliver, Thetis, Omni-Man, Battle Beast, Alan, Tech Jacket, Space Racer. Now like, you know, the face off against, you know, all the Viltrumites that we've seen throughout the course of the series. You know, Anissa, who was the chick with the blade? I think it's sort of the T. To my tongue. Yeah. The chick with the blade. You know, about to say Steve Harvey. You know, that initial fight was great. Then Conquest coming back and that face off. I thought that was awesome. Again, that shock. But then, like, I'm surprised that like the it didn't make like I thought Mark would maybe put two and two together. Maybe Cecil, you know, fucked up, but then like he didn't even know Cecil even captured him. So like that's fine. But yeah, what did y'all think of oh wait, hold on, real quick. Before we ask this question, let me answer Driz's question. So what are your thoughts on Robot and Monster being left? We already said you know, it's an interesting setup. It's not
interesting. No.
But it's like, again, like we read the comic, Driz, so like we're iffy on it. We're iffy on it.
I don't like Robot becoming such an incel. I do like Monster Girl becoming a Futanari King. I think that really adds a lot to the show, you know. But it's just a weird arc all around, you know.
Yeah, you'll get there when you get there, but like for us, it's just like
I just don't like what it leads to. I just don't like what it like. I understand it, but it just to me feels like melodrama for the sake of melodrama when they do the payoff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, what are y'all thoughts on the Viltrumite War starting off? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Great.
Oh, my bad.
I'm not sure there's any other words to describe it. It's just a really strong kickoff right from the start.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you lock it immediately
because then before the war officially begins.
Yeah, and it's also all the strongest people you've seen in the show so far coming together, so you know the shit about to be like, oh
yeah,
they're about to be knocking chunks out of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially when Battle Beast comes in, bro. Like Battle Beast, who's been like craving battle like this for like the entire.
Yeah, this is we're getting it. We're finally here.
Oh man, but yeah. Also, just wanted to mention as well. Just like now. During the Viltrumite War part, but the best part of this entire, especially this episode specifically, is Invincible versus Conquest round 2 on that planet. And like, again, like if you've read the comic, especially when like you see Otley draw it, because Otley, obviously, I've been saying this for years, he's the king of fights when it comes to comics, in my opinion. Just seeing this finally in animation was so good and so satisfying to watch, and just so visceral, especially like. That scene where like this exact part where Mark literally is choking, is strangling Conquest for dear life, and Conquest tries his best to stay alive as long as possible by knocking him in the mountains, hitting him, and to the point where he puts his fist in his chest and disembowels Mark, but Mark doesn't give up. I was like, I texted Seamus when it happened. I was like, I mean, this was rough in the comic, but this is tough to watch, like in animation. I mean, it was great, but I was like, damn. Yeah. What are y'all thoughts on this fight? Anyone?
Great.
I mean, great round 2.
Yeah, I loved it. It was quick. It was brutal. It looked incredible. It was one of those fights that I'm like, it might be a scene that is harder to watch than anything I've seen in The Boys so far.
Really? Okay.
It's just so visceral, and it's so just like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Especially when he starts going with the guts coming out, it does get a little.
Yeah. just the whole thing. You're just like, oh my god, because the boys, it's all quick stuff that you're like, haha, it's gross, haha, that's rough, whatever. But this, I think that with the weight of the character work that had been done beforehand, you were just like, holy shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just a rough watch, and I love that it was a rough watch.
And just real quick, I think
I was gonna say this is a huge mindset shift for Mark, even.
Oh, 100%. Like he got faces. I mean, even though this happened multiple times, but like I feel like in this one he really got to face his own like mortality because he nearly died. Like he was he was on his last legs after this fight.
He's getting the Zenkai boost now.
Exactly. That's the thing with Invincible. If you die or you're near death, you always come back like 10 times stronger than you were before. So
I do appreciate how unabashedly inspired by Dragon Ball Kirkman is.
Yeah.
He was just like, fuck it, I'm using the Zenkai boost. I don't care. It's cool.
Word. And also we did it, boys. Driz said she'll read the comic. Yes.
There you go. Have fun with that. It's good.
Honestly, it's just like, that's like drop a clues bomb for Driz. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, please do. It's like I always say, Damone, real quick, if you want to hold it up, because I know you have the compendium on you. It is literally like my favorite comic ever. So, and I mean, if you want to watch a show blind, like I understand you don't want to read it, but like if you want to get to them, want to read ahead, just read the comic. It's fantastic. Overall, great fight, great moment. The fact that and also I also really did like the fact that while Mark is getting tended to on this planet, it gives the time for Nolan and Oliver to bond and make up for lost time. But that was also really good. A good character growth for Oliver and Nolan as well. To be spend time with his second son that he's neglected due to his bullshit. So that's it. That's all I got on that. Anyone else on this stuff they want to before we move on?
No.
All right, bet. All right, so next one. Now we gotta talk about Big Dog over here, man. We gotta talk about Big Dog. So we finally got to see, get to not only see, hear, but experience the intimidation of the mightiest Viltrumite ever, known as Thragg. Thragg was crazy in this show. Crazy. Wait, hold on. Before we get to what was it, like Drizzle saying, I love that Oliver was attracted to the lobster. Yeah.
Facts. Makes sense. Me too. Me too, man. Me
Still
too.
ate it.
Yeah, Jack, I was attracted to it, but I still ate it, and it was delicious. Like that, yeah. Listen, man, he's growing up. He's becoming a big boy. He's experiencing things.
Insects experience sexuality differently than humans.
Yeah, it's a journey of life for half insect, half Viltrumite boy. Thragg showing up, played by. Again, I'm blanking on the name. Why am I blanking on the name?
Lee Pace.
Lee Pace. Thank you, Jameis. From Guardians of the Galaxy fame. I thought he did it. At first, I told you, Shane. I think I texted you. I wasn't feeling his voice at first, but then throughout the course of the show, I was like, no, I get it. Like I see the vision. Like I thought he did a really good job as Thragg. Also, like kind of like the fact that like he was kind of a, not really. He was kind of a, even though he was intimidating, he kind of had a childlike mentality to him in terms of like his immaturity in terms of like gaining as much power as possible to maintain his civilization. Like the way he went about it, I was like, he's kind of irrational. He's kind of like immature and a little bit irrational, and sometimes in his motivations, but intimidating as hell every time you saw him. Like he was fantastic. Yeah.
That's why I appreciated his voice so much, because he did sound like he was a kind of a petulant child, because that's what Thragg is. Because Thragg is mostly just like a very pampered dude who was then selected to be leader of the Viltrumites, and he didn't actually earn it because, the last dude fucking died. So it was just like, okay, now it's this dude, and this dude's supposed to lead us. You know what I mean? And you're just like, all right, whatever.
It's just weird how his
yeah.
immediate solution to being a new leader is to have half your population kill each other.
Yeah, he's kind of an idiot. That's why you're like, yeah.
Yeah. So character is what's up, Seamus?
The Knicks are up almost like 70.
Let's go.
What the fuck are they doing to the
Let's
Hawks?
go, Knicks.
Oh my god, I
Let's
checked
go,
the
Knicks.
score. What the fuck?
I didn't even realize I was so focused on prepping I forgot about the game tonight.
The Knicks are up like 60 right now. What the fuck is happening?
Who are they playing against?
The Hawks.
I eat shit. Yeah. All right. Get back on track. But
To get
Thragg,
back to another dominant showing.
yeah.
Thragg was really cool.
Not even just cool, dude. He was like, I mean, we know Thragg is a powerful ass Viltrumite in the comics. I didn't know how they were gonna portray that in the show, dude. He's ridiculous, bro. Like, we gotta talk about the moment where he's talking to Nolan. They disagree. They're about to fight on Viltrum. All Thragg had to do was literally like take all the air around his fists and hit Nolan so hard that he kept going. He kept hitting one outside of orbit. It was insane. I was like,
his wind up sucked Nolan in, like,
bro,
from start to finish. It was
his wind up literally had on like, what the fuck is happening? Like his wind up had a gravitational pull. It's fucking crazy.
Got the check.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was nuts. Every time this man, like, I remember like that one shot where Mark tries to rush at him and then like literally I think Mark like either hits him in the face or headbutts him, but like there was a moment where like everything went red for a second because it was so quick, and like like Mark got messed up, Nolan got cut in half. Oliver literally his dumbass decided to go back to Thragg by himself and literally got his arm and jaw obliterated. Like it was crazy. Like they demonstrated Thragg's power in this. Honestly, beyond my expectations. I was like, this is insane. Like it really shows like it really makes you think like, I don't know how they're gonna defeat this guy. This guy's gonna be a fucking problem throughout the whole course of the rest of the show.
They set him up as like an immovable force and in this unstoppable force and an immovable object. He's somehow both. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's insane. Also, Driz, appreciate you said you shared this link to with her followers to join. She got a lot of followers. She's famous. So yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you
starting out over Invincible.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of nerds talking Invincible. I mean, I mean, it's not much, but you know, we appreciate
sharing it. We're gonna be here going like, Thragg is so cool.
Thragg is so awesome. Thragg is so cool. But yeah, man, it was nuts. Like, it was like the power of Thragg is crazy. Like, I mean, and it's just like, yeah, like how, like, makes you think like, how the fuck are they gonna stop this guy? Like, it's wild. Yeah, I got nothing else to say, man. Oh, I also want to say, just rewind the tape. I thought Thragg's relationship to Argyle and why he glorifies Argyle to the point where he carries a skull around and talks to it, I thought was very interesting. It's like, it reminds me of like his like undying love, his undying like obedience and loyalty to the Viltrum Empire, even when it's in shambles. It reminded me a lot of like Michael Shannon as Zod in Man of Steel, like that undying loyalty to Krypton, even though Krypton is long dead at this point. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's funny. To me, it was like literally like he was literally Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like a petulant child who still loves the Nazi order and is like, no, we need to bring it back. They're stronger. We need to be stronger. And really, he's just a sad kid lashing out. But like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's why it's actually better.
Yeah, and he carries the skull around still and talks to it, and you're like, dude, come on, grow up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. But anything else y'all want to say about Thragg before we move on?
No.
Nah. The fact that he's a beast. Like the fact that he's Thanos.
I like the fact that he is strong. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like a weak he's not like a weak dude. He's just like spiritually and mentally a weak guy, but like physically he is still very strong. And you know, that to me is what is super interesting about his character, because he does have the capability to be a great leader. It's just he's so mentally like broken over the fact that he can't mourn his planet anymore and doesn't want to because he doesn't want to accept it's over.
Yeah,
This prevents him from being a leader who actually might be able to bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But all right, so let's move on to the next moment, which I think again, this moment right after the whole fight with what happened before the final fight with Thragg. But like, yeah, man, Viltrum got destroyed. Like, bruh, they did the thing. They did one of the like this was the moment I always allude to when I'm telling you about this show, especially with this season. I'm like, guys, this season, doing the Viltrumite War, them doing the Viltrumite War, you guys are not ready. You are not ready for how crazy this shit will get. This shit was insane. Even when I read it in the comic years ago till now, I'm like, this was the moment I was waiting for. Because it comes out of left field. Like,
That's great.
It's so good, bro. Again, I feel like I gotta do like a clues bomb or cut the check right now, because like it is. I'll do cut the check
Cut the
first.
check.
It is such a great moment. It really showcases how powerful being a Viltrumite is. Where like it only takes 3 of them to destroy a planet by themselves. Like this, it's insane. And obviously, this motivates Thragg to really go on a fucking bloodlust spree and start trying to kill everybody. Yeah. What do y'all think of this moment, guys? I mean, we all know. Like it's such.
We already know. We're all gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. With Driz is saying here, she's saying Thragg is my favorite character. The sidestep when Nolan tried to punch was crazy work. Also, I like how the fuck how he was airbending. Yeah, no, that's because she said that in her skin. She was like, yo, how the fuck is Thragg airbending right now? It's crazy. Yeah, the Thragg. Yeah. Thragg is a monster. The fact that but also again, it kind of shows how powerful Viltrumites are. Thragg being able to airbend and send Nolan flying even outside of orbit. Take 3 Viltrumites. It only takes 3 Viltrumites to destroy a planet. It's crazy. Again, like what Seamus said, very Dragon Ball Z of Kirkman. A very crazy ass moment. So now the Viltrum Empire has to die because they don't even have a plan to go back to. So yeah, crazy ass moment. But yeah, I got nothing to say on this. This is all I got. Anything else I want to say? Just real quick. No. Besides it being awesome, besides it being crazy as fuck. All right, so we're gonna get back to our last set. Y'all talk about the finale. So pretty much once they destroy Viltrum, the Viltrumites kind of disappear. They flee, they retreat, and they're gone for a little bit. And then once later on, when after Mark wakes up from his injuries, them tending to Oliver, Omni-Man also recovering from his injuries from the fight with Thragg, they realize that they haven't seen the Viltrumites in a while and in a little bit after the fight. And where could they have gone? We've looked everywhere in their solar system, around the coalition of planets, amongst their allied planets. They haven't seen any sign of Viltrumites. And Mark makes realization, oh shit, they're at Earth. Oh, we gotta go back. So, and this pretty much leads to kind of like the final moment of the finale when Mark comes home. And I love the fact that when Mark gets back, he literally all of his fears could pretty much come to haunt him throughout the course of the final episode, where Mark is literally there's literally that scene in the beginning where there's that fake out where all the Viltrum like Thragg and the Viltrumites attack Earth and they pillage it like crazy and it's destroyed. And it's actually a nightmare that Mark's experiencing, and how that fear of the Viltrumites killing not only everyone he loves but the entire planet haunts Mark throughout the course of the episode. That was really great because we didn't really see that wasn't really a thing in the comic.
I think they got one flash of them destroying it, and then they were on Earth already. And
yeah, exactly. But
they met Thragg, so it was very quick. It was much quicker in the comics.
Exactly, but to have that that fear being visually represented throughout the course of the episode, I thought was really awesome to see. And also, again, it leads to that moment where Mark needs to console Cecil because it's just too much for him. That was great. Also, just real quick, just side tangent, the reveal that Eve had an abortion, and obviously her to quote to quote Driz, and also her being thicker than industrial toilet paper. That was
I like how Mark saw how thick she was and was like, "We gotta have sex right."
Yeah, we got
he wasn't complaining a single second.
Yeah, because even
that's my belt right there.
Because even in the comic, because in the comic it was because obviously for the time it was very immaturely handled where like Eve was like, "Don't look at me," like but like, it wasn't really addressed so much in the show. Like she's just thick now, and Mark's like, "I like that. I want that.
I'm there. I'm in there." You're like, "Yep, yes, sir."
Oh man,
that's why he's my superhero.
That's
yo, man, drop a clues bomb from Mark loving the thickness, bro.
That's right.
Oh man. But I thought the actual conversation of Eve, revealing to Mark that she had an abortion, and that's the pregnancy was causing her powers to fluctuate. And Mark handled it very maturely. Like he wanted to. From what I can remember from the comic, it wasn't handled that well. Not me. But it felt very mature. Like he was very empathetic, very understanding. Like no, like even though I'm going through stuff, this is about you. This is about you. You're going through this. Like let's talk about it together as a couple. I thought that was a very mature for him. I thought that was a really good moment. But to culminate this, so that the ending of this season pretty much culminates in where are the Viltrumites, where are they on Earth? Because even when they're on Earth, they can't find them. Like they're nowhere to be found, and it's because it's not like they're not on Earth. They're there. They're just hiding. They are. This is their next move, which is like I called it the deal, where Thragg confronts Mark while Mark is flying and trying to bring in the bearings after what he's just gone through, and it's like, okay, listen, bro, you destroyed our home, you fucked up, now since you destroyed our home, we have no empire at the moment because of your actions, because of you, your father, Thetis. Also, Thetis got his head fucking ripped off, Sub-Zero style, crazy. Our population is down, and so we decided to come to your planet. We're gonna utilize the fact that y'all are close enough to Viltrumite DNA that we're gonna repopulate our empire. You're a living proof that can work. So we're gonna live on Earth. We're gonna learn your customs, learn your language. Well, they're already speaking English, so it doesn't matter. They're gonna learn exactly
universal
right.
language, right?
Exactly, it's universal language. We're gonna learn your customs. We're gonna dress like you. We're gonna talk like you. And we're gonna just
they won't interfere. They said no interference. They'll just be there.
We're gonna get our fuck on, and you can't do shit because the moment you do shit, we're going to destroy this planet. We're gonna destroy everyone you love, everyone on this earth. We don't give a fuck. We have nothing to lose.
And if you got problems for us, the whole planet breeding slave camp is essentially what he said. That would be the alternative.
So Mark had to make a decision: either right here, right now, agree to Thragg's terms, let them stay on Earth, or risk everyone's lives, risk an onslaught right then and there. Because Thragg said, I can give the signal right now if you defy it, if you say no, and we'll level this. Y'all, the three of you destroyed Viltrum. Imagine what 20 Viltrumites after this war, how much 20 Viltrumites can do to a planet, So Mark takes the deal. He accepts it because, again, it's either saving everyone now or letting everyone saving everybody or letting everyone die like that right then and there. And this is what I told my boy Carlos from work. Shout out to Carlos. But this is the status quo change. At this moment, Invincible changes. The status quo Invincible changes forever because events will go on in Invincible. But at the same time, it's at back of his. It's gonna be at the back of your mind. The Viltrumites are there. They're still there, doing their thing. They're just doing it quietly in the background behind the scenes.
That's right.
So it's that impending fear in the back of your neck that's gonna get you thinking on the course of the episode. We're gonna see what's gonna happen with Dinosaurus. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, with some other characters showing up in Invincible and these other events. But mind you, while Monster Girl and Rex they're doing their arc, but like in the back of your mind, like the Viltrumite are still there, getting their fuck on. Like it's gonna end badly. Like at some point, it's an impending doom. No,
it's a ticking time bomb. And I also appreciate how this conversation in the show was just Thragg and Mark. When it was in the comics, Nolan was the one leading the conversation, and he had this big thing where he's tells Alan where the Viltrumites are, and basically says, "Yeah, after this war, we just gotta deal with it. They're on Earth. You gotta deal with it, Nolan, or we gotta deal with it, Alan. I don't know what to tell you." And Alan doesn't take that very kindly, obviously, but like it's. I'm interested to see how it'll play out next season, because now Nolan doesn't directly know where the Viltrumites are yet, like he did before.
Yeah, man.
And he definitely has PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. What he definitely has PTSD from what happened, for sure. But yeah, it's a really interesting ultimatum. Like especially I do agree. Yeah, it's just him and Mark, just one-on-one. And now it gets me curious, because that didn't happen in the comics. So how's Nolan gonna react to this? When he finds out.
Yeah, because I realize now Nolan doesn't know that Thragg's on Earth right now. Because that was a big thing.
Yeah. Also find it funny we get a montage of the various Viltrumites that are that are on Earth, and we see like exactly from the comic, like Steve Harvey looking more like Steve Harvey on Earth. Anissa not really messing with anybody. Which
we know one of them still on Earth for sure.
Yeah, Anissa's not messing with anybody, which is gonna imply something that they may or may not do in future seasons with that character. Craig, being the motorcycle dude, being like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go down."
He took to leather jackets and cigarettes so fast.
But yeah, it's a really good moment. Also, just saying as well, she's like, "I'm upset. I'm upset a little bit. I'm a little bit upset with Eve for terminating the baby. I honestly think that would have been a really powerful child." Yeah, you're probably right. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, it's something that I feel like that's something you kind of, again, Invincible is all about tropes and like doing the opposite of what I'm playing on trope and doing the opposite of what you're expecting. It is always, it's typical trope of like, yeah, if a superhero couple is having a baby, they always decide to go through the pregnancy. But in this one, they got to the opposite, and it's just, she just terminated for her own well-being, because she felt alone. She didn't even know that Mark was even going to come back.
She was in a rough situation. Like, I completely understand where she's coming from with her decision, at least.
I can't with her. She said abort, bitch. Jesus. Oh man. She killing me. But yeah. So that's what's happening here. It's crazy. So we're gonna see how this plays out. But I don't even think we won't even see. No, we'll get into theories about that. But and just real quick, just to close it off, post-credit scene. We got the post-credit scene where we get the reveal where, because since Thetis is dead, Alan runs a coalition of planets. Now he's the head, and Thetis left something for Alan and a message that he's entrusting Alan with a new variant that is more potent, more dangerous. He gives a new batch of the Scourge virus to now use and especially not to use as a contingency plan, but to directly use, be like, yes, the Viltrumite Empire cannot survive. That includes Mark and Nolan and Oliver. Like, they're no exception. Like in order for there to be peace in the universe, the Viltrumite race has to exist. Has to not exist. Period. And it's like, this is a heavy weight for our boy Alan the Alien to make. To have this burden. And again, when I forgot to mention this earlier, but when Thetis was prepping for the Viltrumite War and brought in Nolan, and he revealed that he had the Scourge virus, which revealed to Nolan that he's the betrayer. And knowing how Nolan, was a Viltrumite most of his life, I love how he immediately tried to go after Thetis. He came to Thetis' store, like, how many people you murdered, how many people you killed, like, out of instinct. But yeah, we're gonna. It's crazy. Yeah, like, can Alan bear this weight of a genocidal of a genocidal bioweapon? You know, crazy. Crazy. So what do you think of this post credit scene? I thought it was, you know, I was waiting for this moment, obviously, and we know where it's gonna go. But yeah. What y'all think?
Yeah, it was lit.
Yeah, this is actually part of why I was really interested to see how they'd play out this part, because obviously at one point Alan he thinks about using it, and Nolan's the one that tells him where the Viltrumites are, and now I'm not sure how that's going to play out next season, because how is he going to get this information?
Oh, so Driz is saying, it's like, I don't really know how to feel about Alan. He seems like he doesn't really know what he's doing. That's kind of the point.
Absolutely not. Alan's never known what he's doing.
Yeah, like he kind of just wings it most of the time. He'll grow into the leadership position for sure, but as of right now, he's just like, yeah, I don't really know what the fuck. Like he even I think he even mentioned that, like, he doesn't even know why they even chose him. Like he's just like, you know, but they just trusted him with his life. So, you know, due to their relationship. So he just made him his top successor, pretty much. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So Alan has the Scourge virus. What now? You know, where are we gonna go from here? You know, it's just like it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, should we even go into theories? Because again, we know too much. Like
we know too much. It's not really going to be theories. It's just going to be us talking about what's coming, which I think would spoil it for people who are now in the chat who haven't watched read the rest of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I guess we'll just close it off here. We'll get into our final thoughts. So, final thoughts, people. What would you give? What are your final thoughts on Invincible season 4? What would you give it out of 10? Sorry. What? Out of 7, because the bonus.
I can also convert to a 10 system if it's easier.
I mean, it is easier, Devon. I've been saying this shit for years.
This season would probably get like a 5 out of 7.
Okay.
Like a 5.5, something like that.
Okay.
I was hovering somewhere around 6, which is just below a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would say for me it's a 6 out of 7. 9 out of 10. I really love this season, even though it did. In terms of technical aspect, did have some issues. There are things that introduced that I just didn't work. Driz, we mentioned as well that the Mark Goes to Hell episode we didn't think was the best, and that we didn't think it was really that needed. But yeah, she said, "Don't you spoil a damn thing." Fair enough. We got you. You know, we care, so you're safe. But yeah, I this season overall in terms of the story, they did an amazing job translating. This right here is the turning point for the series, and they handled it wonderfully. And it gets me excited for what they have next. Yeah, I guess excited for what they have next for sure. And again, for your sake, Driz, because we love you. We're not gonna say anything, but there are things that we really wish they do, and there are things that we really wish they don't do.
And there's also things we wish they do, but carefully.
So yeah, so we'll see how they. and again, I told you she knows ball, guys. She knows ball because she hated that episode too. She did not like the hell episode at all. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. But overall, so I think the general consensus is like 5.5 out of 7. So like 5.5 out of 7, 6.5, 6 out of 7. So like pretty much like an 8-ish, 9-ish out of 10. It was good. It gets the indie corner seal of approval. We had a good time with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess we'll just close it out. So yeah, people, thanks for everyone who are watching this or will watch. We appreciate it. Please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you know when we drop new stuff. And also, yeah, if you watched Invincible season 4, leave a comment what you think about it, what you like, what you didn't like, favorite moment, what do you expect for the next season? Because again, season 5 is in the works. They already announced that it was already in development. I think I saw a post from Skybound from Image that said Invincible is gonna come out probably in 2027, and all the voice acting is done. They're just working on animation now.
Nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I think it's like Dinosaurus is coming back, Thragg is coming back, and Conquest isn't coming back. I thought it was a funny ass post, but yeah, just let us know what you think in the comment section down below. And then just a real quick plug, because again, we've had a little bit of hiatus. We're kind of still technically on hiatus, but we're trying to get back on the swing of things, because life has been lifing. But we love making this. We love talking nerdy shit on the internet. So we kind of can't help ourselves. But yeah, please, if you haven't already, check out people who are gonna be subscribed. Hopefully, appreciate you. And please check out the rest of our rest of our Invincible content that we've done. There is a playlist of our Invincible podcast when we were on the Student to Shield podcast back when we were in college. So we covered the entire book. If you want to check that out as well, it's going to be on the channel under Student to Shield content, Indie Corner on Student to Shield. Please check out the rest of our Indie Corner After Dark, which is our news and pop culture and comic book news coverage. We're going to be doing one probably sometime next week, because a lot of stuff has happened the past few weeks in terms of pop culture and comics. So there's that. Please check out all of our series that we've been doing. So our Transformers, our Deadly Class series, our Why the Last Man series. I mean, Seamus have been doing that. Will come back. Just give us some time. It's gonna come back. We're gonna be doing it soon. I promise you. Please check out the reactions, the clips, Fright Month stuff, everything that we have on the channel. It's for y'all to consume, for y'all to enjoy, put a lot of heart and soul in what we do on the Indie Corner. And listen, we're gonna keep it going. Be on the lookout. There might be some interviews. I'm also planning some interviews as well. I know Seamus, we gotta get Porn Sock back on the show because of Absolute Green Arrow. So
yes, sir.
That's about to happen. And as always, people, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Seamus, Damone, thanks again for joining me as always. Miss Sis, it's always a good time having you both on. Talk Invincible, talk comics. And as always, people, get home safe. And Triz has subscribed. We did it, boys. We did it.
That's one up. That's one up.
Oh, man. So,
thank you, Driz.
We thank you, and we catch y'all next time. All right. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Bye. Oh.